I'm sure anyone can understand that it's extremely difficult, anxiety and depression inducing to be forced to work a job that you don't enjoy. It's it's honestly a very horrible experience to do something like that or be or be forced to do something like that. And really nobody deserves that. There always has to be another chance out there for an occupation that you truly enjoy. The thing is, you shouldn't push yourself to the point where you have a burnout or an emotional breakdown. It's just not worth it at that point. No job is worth being miserable and making yourself suffer over. I know that there are a lot of people out there who have to because, you know, they have to pay rent, they have to take care of their kids, but still, they deserve better than a job or multiple jobs that they don't enjoy. There has to be a better way, and there's always a better way. You can't just give up and just sit there and take it. It really is best to look for better options the best that you can for things that you really do enjoy. There are lots of people stuck in dead end jobs or stuck behind a wall in their life. Sometimes they don't even realize it, but there is always a way through that wall. You just have to find the right thing to do, find the right motivation, and take the right steps. Sometimes it takes doing really big things, like letting go of certain things that you're attached to that really are not possible, or going back to square one, or even just going back to school or trying new things. There's always another way. Also, one thing you should really try is reaching out for help from people who care about you. The thing is, everyone has at least someone in this world that cares about them or will care about them. You just have to be willing to ask for help from people who care, like people who have always loved and supported you. If you were never loved or supported by your parents, there have to be other family members out there who will care about you. There always has to be somebody out there. The world is so vast, there really is no shortage of love and care out there. And with social media nowadays, with all the people coming together on all these platforms, you never know who you might find. Yeah, the fact is, it takes a lot of work. Sometimes it takes prioritizing your health and happiness over things. Sometimes it takes trying new things. Sometimes it takes taking small steps in a different direction or a big leap in a different direction. Sometimes all you need is a little motivation. Sometimes all you really need is a good talk with someone who cares to come to the right conclusion. I once heard the story of this woman who got pulled over by a police officer. She begged him not for a ticket because she was broken in a dead-end job. Well, the cop decided to talk to her about it. and they concluded that that woman would make a good nurse. And so the cop wrote her a warning and also a note that said if she were to go to scrub in nursing school, he wouldn't get her a ticket. And immediately she started pushing herself toward that career path, and what do you know it? She got a job as a surgical technician, and she loves her job. So yeah, sometimes all it takes is the right person at the right time to literally change someone's life for the better. Sometimes it could be as small as that. Sometimes it's also about truly learning about yourself and discovering yourself and admitting to yourself the things that you love, the things you don't love, the things that make you happy, the things that make you sad, and the things that are healthy and the things that are unhealthy. Sometimes it can be hard coming to terms with those things, especially if they involve dreams and hopes you have for the future. Either that or something that you've been relying on for a long time that has really been unhealthy or just not good enough for you. Sometimes it takes a big step. Sometimes it takes letting go or taking an extra step or trying new things. Basically, you're not going to get through that wall that you're stuck behind if you keep doing what you're doing now. You have to change your strategy, do something different, and not be stuck doing the same thing. That's the reason why I decided to really cool down doing Uber Eats and focus a lot more on finding a real job somewhere in my area, and also spending a lot more time working on my YouTube content and my creative work, my artwork. I've realized that 2.5 years of Uber Eats it's just too much for me. I've been doing it for so long, and honestly, I've been stuck behind that wall for too long, so I'm ready to do some advancing, to work harder on the things that I love so that maybe one day I could profit from that. I also got myself a new microphone, so maybe if you guys want to hear me narrating some creepypastas, that would be a lot of fun. I might even write some of my own, which I think will be a lot of fun as well. I just love scary stories. Listening to scary stories on YouTube is one of my absolute favorite background noises of all time. And I think it would be a lot of fun to get in on that action. People have said that I have a nice voice, so maybe creepypastas, and maybe even if some people are willing to share some true scary stories with me, that would be a lot of fun too. Yeah, that would be cool. It really would be great if I could make a living doing something I enjoy. And Uber Eats it's barely been making me any money. And honestly, all it's been doing is fueling my stress, anxiety, and depression. So yeah, I hope you guys will be able to do the same thing I'm doing and be able to step away from that wall and try to find other ways to support yourself and be happy and healthy. Remember that there's always another way. You just have to find it. Don't push yourself to the point that it makes you miserable. It's Nobody deserves that kind of experience. All that burnout, all that misery, it's just not worth it because it's so unhealthy. Just do what you can to break through that wall, like I'm trying to do. It would be a lot of help if you could share my videos with a lot more people. I've got the subscriber count, but not the watch hour or view count. It'd be great if I could make a living on YouTube. That'd be like a dream come true. I'll have to keep working hard on that, though. That's gonna be really hard to do, but yeah. Either that or I'll just get a job nearby, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Hope you guys will be willing to help me out in some way. I don't know what you'd be willing to do, but it'd really mean a lot to me.